This story is from the 90s, when the suburbs outside of Chicago were still being developed. A lot of areas were just woods and empty fields, with only a few neighborhoods built here and there. A young man named Kevin had come to the Chicago suburbs from his small town looking for work. Kevin was staying at his Uncle Mike's house in one of these new subdivisions. His uncle was a long-haul truck driver, which meant he was often on the road for days at a time. Kevin would spend his days taking the train into the city for job interviews, returning to the quiet suburbs each evening. But after dark, the neighborhood became completely dead silent. One day, Kevin asked his uncle why everyone was always locked inside by nightfall. His uncle told him a wild story. He said that people in the area believed a witch roamed the winding cul-de-sacs of the suburb. They said she had 3 heads, and people called her the tri-head witch of Route 59. She comes out at night, and when people are asleep, she gets into their homes, puts them under her spell, drains their life force, and leaves them in a coma. Some folks even believed this 3-headed witch was a powerful sorceress, sucking the energy from people to make herself immortal. From little kids to the elderly, everyone was so terrified of her that as soon as the sun went down, they'd deadbolt their doors and wouldn't go outside for anything. Hearing this, Kevin asked his uncle if he actually believed it. His uncle said he hadn't at first, but lately, several people in the subdivision had been found passed out on their own lawns early in the morning. When they woke up, they all told the same story. They had seen the 3-headed witch the night before. It had even gotten into the local county gazette. Kevin thought the story was entertaining, but he didn't buy it for a second, and he went to bed. A few days later, Kevin landed a job. One night, he was working late and didn't get back to his uncle's house until almost 1 a.m. His uncle was away on a haul. Exhausted, Kevin collapsed into bed and fell asleep instantly. But just a few moments later, the doorbell rang. The sound made him jump. No one ever came by this late. He opened the door, and his Uncle Mike was standing there. But he looked off. He was just standing on the welcome mat, staring blankly at Kevin. Kevin let him in and went to the kitchen to get him a glass of water. It was 2 a.m. When Kevin came back from the kitchen, the glass slipped from his hand and shattered. Where his uncle had been standing, right in front of him, was the 3-headed witch. Kevin panicked, sprinted to the bedroom, and locked the door. A few seconds later, a deafening bang, bang, bang started on the bedroom door. Kevin broke out in a cold sweat, but he was too terrified to open it. When the pounding finally stopped, he worked up the courage to crack the door open. The hallway was empty. Then he heard a girl's laugh. Trembling, he turned around. The tri-head witch was standing right behind him in the room. She saw the look on his face and let out a piercing, cackling laugh from all 3 of her mouths. Kevin tried to bolt for the window, but it was too late. He was already caught in the witch's grasp. When his uncle returned the next morning, he found Kevin unconscious on the floor, his skin pale and covered in dark, bruise-like marks. When Kevin finally came to, he told his uncle everything. He said the tri-head witch had attacked him, and he felt like she had sucked the very life out of him. After that night, Kevin left the Chicago suburbs and went back to his small town for good. Over time, the tri-head witch of Route 59 became just a local legend. But plenty of people, like Kevin, have never been able to forget the sheer terror of that three-headed witch. Have you ever heard the story? If you liked ours, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.